All right, well, we're back. We're still here at Douglas Ridge Rifle Club, and we've got the bases installed on my Model 11, and the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put a new scope on it. So I've already got the bolt out of the gun. It's a safe firearm, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my gun vise. And today we're going to be installing a brand new Leupold VXR. It's a 3-9, 30mm tube. I'm really excited to get this scope on the gun, and I'm even more excited to take it out and shoot it. So I'm going to use low rings. I think they're going to be just dandy today. These are permanent attach rings. There's no quick detach lever. When they're on the gun, they're going to lock on the gun and the scope at the same time. All right, so the proper technique to install our rings on a scope like this is we're just going to lay half the ring down in our hand and put the scope into it. I'm going to place our recoil lug right in its own little slot. Take the other half of the ring and just set it down on top. I'm going to start all 4 screws, just a turn or 2 each. It's going to leave them really loose on the scope, but it's kind of a necessary step. So we've got one ring basically on the way we want it. I'm going to hold that in my hand and put the other ring half in right behind the turrets. And then I'm going to take the other half of that ring and set it down and just start all 4 screws. You can actually install our rings with the hardware facing either side. I like to put the heads facing the bolt. It just makes it a little cleaner and keeps all the hardware on one side. So at this point, I'm going to squeeze the bottoms of the rings. It's a little bit of a task to put the whole contraption on top. And now we're going to take the entire setup and move it over to our firearm. So we're just going to set the rings on with the recoil lugs in their slots. Front and rear, you don't really need to worry about scope alignment right now. We're just getting everything transferred over to the top of the firearm. And that looks like that's just about exactly where we want it. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the bottoms of the rings just a little bit, just make them snug. And when I do that, I'm going to push the ring towards the front and seat that recoil lug right up against the slot on the ring. That way, when I do fire the gun, if it thinks it wants to move, it's already seated at the forward position, which is where we want it. All right, that's on there. I left everything just a little bit loose until I get my eye relief set and my reticle level. This allows us to move the scope back and forth and kind of get things lined up. For me, on most scopes, I know that my eye relief is going to be reasonably near the bell. All right, well, I've got everything moved to the top of the firearm, and the next thing I want to do is set my eye relief and level my reticle. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoulder the rifle and see where everything sets. And actually, that's really, really good for eye relief right where it's at. Always make sure to check your eye relief at the highest power setting. That's when the eye box is the most critical. That's the area right behind the scope that you're going to have a full view. And that looks really good for me. So I'm just going to tighten the screws up just a touch. And then we'll go ahead and level the reticle. There's a lot of tools out there that you can buy on the market to level the reticle. Some clamp on the barrel, little bubble levels you can put on top of it. For this application, I'm not going to show you any of those products. We're just going to kind of eyeball it. And when we get to the range, we'll set it just a little bit better if we need to. So I'm going to use the way that I shoulder the rifle and a vertical line on the wall. And I've got a nice straight line, so that's all lined up. I'm going to go ahead and lock the bottoms of the rings down with my torque wrench. And then I'm going to come back and tighten up the tops. It's really important that you don't over tighten the tops of these screws. There's always going to be just a small gap in your ring at the top of the scope, and that's perfectly normal. The key thing that you have to do is tighten down the bottoms first. And we'll come back with the torque wrench. And all right, you just shoulder that one more time. And that looks really good. Good eye relief. I think my reticle is right on the line. So really appreciate you watching the video today. And the next stop we're going to make is out at the 100-yard range. We'll get this zeroed in. Thanks for watching. Warne Scope Mounts, helping you get the bullet to the bullseye for over 20 years. Set your sights on Warne.